So if he gets concerned, he has every right to be concerned. I tossed that lead rope over his back, and he decided to move. So what do? I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Johnny on this because he needs to feel like he can move his feet. Today is technically like the first session, if you will, of working with him, kind of showing him how to learn. Of course, every time you're interacting with your horse, you're teaching them something. So I'm going to take the end of this lead rope, and I'm not making a big deal out of any of this. I understand these horses have never seen it, so if he gets concerned, he has every right to be concerned. I tossed that lead rope over his back, and he decided to move. So what do? I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Johnny on this because he needs to feel like he can move his feet. If a horse starts to feel like they can't move their feet when they get concerned, you've restricted the flight instinct in there, and then they're going to start doing other stuff like fighting, freezing, and we don't want any of those. We definitely don't want the fight one, and we don't want the freeze one, because those are the horses that have pretty much learned they have no option, and then you start to get what I call the pressure cooker effect, which is there you go, buddy. He took a big deep breath. I'm not necessarily rewarding him for stopping, and that's what my point is. I'm not rewarding him for freezing. Does he look like he's glazed over? Absolutely not. He's still very well engaged. I'm rewarding him for the deep breath that he took and the relaxation, because in the foundation of everything that we're doing with these horses is we have to have relaxation. So you guys, as you go, like, this is a case study series on working with a yearling colt, working with a yearling filly, working with young yearlings. These have been raised by us, or by their mothers. We've kind of oversaw their care at this point, but we have let them be horses. And they are both two very different horses, this colt and the other filly that we've got. And so, good job, buddy. Good. And I'm not going to overdo this to the point that he gets resentful about it. I'm just doing just enough to kind of say, hey, why don't we try this, try that? And he's like, why are we doing this? And I would do this before I ever brushed one. If you can do this and a horse can stand still, this is preparing him to be saddled, to put a surcingle on him, to ride him down the road. This is preparing him. If you can do this with a horse, you can brush him off. We haven't really brushed on him. My wife did say yesterday that she was going to go out there and brush him on the field, and I was like, don't do it. They don't need to be brushed because we haven't worked on this yet. This is just one of those things that if you can do this with your horses, you can work on a lot. You go out there with yours, whether it's an older horse, and a lot of horses can't even stand still to have this lead rope thrown up on them because they get concerned about it. And so, again, start from the very beginning, just building their confidence. If I can swing this lead rope on here, chances are later on I can put a saddle on him, put a saddle blanket on him. Good job, buddy. So I'm just watching his eye here on this left side, or on his right side, excuse me. And there he goes. He just kind of was like, he was watching me and he was standing there, but he was just a little concerned. He's like, I'll stick around, but I'm not so sure about it. So I say, hey, I recognize that you're not so sure about that, and I'm just going to stop for a second, let you process that, and that's when that licking and chewing started. You've got to, early on, these horses, they know if you pay attention to that stuff or not, and if you can pay attention to it, then you keep them out of those freeze modes, you keep them out of kind of getting so introverted. Most of us have trouble developing our horses and ourselves. Many of us don't have access to quality professionals around the clock, and it can be overwhelming and frustrating to sort through all the information out on the internet. The Inner Circle with Colt Woods Horsemanship provides you with hundreds of hours of real, raw horsemanship and lifemanship tools. The Inner Circle is available for less than half the cost of a single lesson each month. We want to cure the frustration and provide the answers that you and your horse have been looking for.